Y'all were playing Sackboy? Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Well, hey, welcome back to the In-Step Podcast. I almost said Behind the Harvest Podcast, but In-Step Podcast. We're so glad that you're here. Yeah, I know, wrong one, but it's okay. And we are going to talk about growing spiritually with God. But before we do that, why don't you smash that subscribe button, go over like In-Step Instagram page, and we would love for you to follow, like, subscribe, and of course share this video with anybody that you feel like it would help. That's why we're doing it anyway, because we want to be a blessing. We want to serve you guys and give you some perspective of people that are teenagers of all different varieties, and we hope that it's impactful for you. So you guys doing well?
Tired.
Yes.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. It's been the exact same amount of time for me, and I'm older. You have no excuses.
It doesn't matter. I'm tired.
It doesn't matter. So, yes, it has been a long day, but we're here, and it's going to be good. So, when we think about growing spiritually with God, when you hear that phrase, spiritual growth, what comes to mind, and how do you know if you're actually growing?
Spiritual growth, like, you feel like you see a change in your life. Okay, so you go from doing something and then you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore because your faith has grown in Christ. And also, when stressful, whatever situations come up, it's not as bad because you know, like, God has a plan. Mm-hmm. It's going to be okay. Like, you're uncertain about your future, but you know the future's not uncertain.
That's right.
Like, you know that God is going to take you somewhere.
That was good, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. You're uncertain about your future, but you know your future is not uncertain. That's solid.
Yeah,
it's good. What else? What do you want to add?
So to me, spiritual growth is like getting closer to God and understanding Him more.
Okay.
And what was the second part?
And how do you know if that's like? How do you know if growing closer to God and understanding Him more? What is the outpouring or the manifestation of that in your life? How does that look?
Like you see a change in your life, and it's like noticeable to others that you have like you've changed.
Okay.
Like if you did this, if you had it like this before, and then started growing in the spirit, like I said, and I almost forgot what I said. Anyway.
I thought you were done.
Go ahead, Mackenzie.
He took what I was gonna say. I just forgot what I was gonna say, but that's what I was gonna say.
Okay,
you can see a change in your life and how you're acting. And yeah.
So what are some common things that hold you back from growing closer to God? So if growing closer to God's going to show an outward change in your life, what are the things that prevent that change from happening or that stall that change? Like if you're on a change process and a trajectory and you're changing and all of a sudden something stops or something stalls and you revert backward, right? What are some of those things in your life that prevent you from growing closer to the Lord?
Laziness.
Okay, so laziness, okay?
I would kind of say what we were talking about in the last one about mental health. Like, just anxiety and, like, being stressed out and, like, depression and all that stuff. You don't, like, go so far out of that and you're not focused on, like, faith and all that stuff, then it's just, it holds you back because you're, like, worried about all this other stuff and not focused on that.
Yeah. You're consumed by that, right? You're consumed by those emotions, consumed by those feelings. Yes.
I think friendships. So like as you grow, sometimes your friends change, and if the friendships you're making are leading you astray, that can cause a regression in your growth with Christ.
Yeah.
Because with who you surround yourself with is how you're going to act eventually. It may not be like immediately, but the more you spend time exposed to that kind of thing, you're going to change.
Yeah, it's like that quote that's like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
I think a big one for all of us is social media.
Okay. Yep, and we talked about that, right? We talked about technology a couple episodes ago. So why is social media something that can prevent you from growing with the Lord?
All right, so doom scrolling, like social media.
Doom scroll. So when you scroll a bunch, right?
You scroll for hours.
For hours.
You don't even realize it. You just in hours, yeah.
Like before bed or something.
Yeah.
You don't even realize how late you're up.
Yeah. Okay, what else? What else can be a distraction with social media?
Worrying about other people, like what they think of you.
Okay. And you mentioned something earlier with your YouTube channel and all that stuff, worrying about the next post and how am I going to get more subscribers, and are they going to like this? Oh, they didn't like this, so I need to do something else to, right? That kind of stuff.
And then I realized, I'm like, this is not good. You can't do that. Like, it's not good for you or anyone.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not good for you or anyone. That's right. Anything else that prevents you from growing with the Lord? Adversity. Okay.
Like if you face severe adversity or any kind of adversity that, like, maybe you trip and stumble, or like anything that makes you feel like, oh, God's not paying attention.
Okay.
Like, which is not true, because sometimes God will put you in a situation that makes you realize that something needs to change. Like, you're doing something and it's not okay. Like, you gotta figure it out, but He's not abandoning you. He's just trying to show you where your actions are going to lead if you don't fix it.
That's right.
And so sometimes people take that as, oh, like, God doesn't love me anymore, like, He's leaving me, like this and that and the third, when in reality it's you and your situation, and He's just trying to, like, show you, like, this is the path you're on.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of similar to what we said about how God utilizes anxiety to drive us closer to Him or whatnot. I oftentimes think that we are in control of very little, but one thing that we're always in control of is how we respond to something. And that's something that I talk to the boys about, right, a lot, is that you can't control what happens to you. You can only control how you respond. And so when you look at life and you think about all the things that you're in control of, you're in control of a very small percentage of things, right? And so one of that is when we go through those kind of tribulations and trials and things like that, is always remembering how I respond to this is oftentimes how long I'm going to go through this, and oftentimes how I'm going to come out on the other side of it. If I respond negatively or poorly or immaturely, it's probably going to prolong the time, and I'm not going to learn everything I need to learn and grow to the extent that I'm going to grow. However, if I respond in a mature manner, if I respond better, chances are I'm going to grow from it, I'm going to learn from it, and it's actually going to be something that propels me to the next thing that God has for me, right? So it's always about how we go through things and trying to gain perspective, and God's perspective of the situations that we go through, right? And that's so important. All right, have you ever been through? We talked about this before we rolled, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I have." So I think we have. Have you ever been through a spiritually dry season? And when we talk about spiritual dryness, I want you to, when you answer, why don't you describe what that might feel like? Not what happened, but what it feels like when you go through a spiritual dry season, and maybe talk a little bit about spiritual dry seasons. Because you had a great answer.
Okay, so for me, like, spiritual dryness may not be like it. For me, it comes at times where I am riddled with anxiety and uncertainty because something is changing.
Okay.
Like, whenever I made the transition from middle school to high school, or now I'm going to college, and then, like, stuff like, if, like, we had a family situation a couple years back, and it, like, whenever stuff like that happens, I tend to shut down and, like, because I don't want to deal with those emotions. Like, I don't want to deal with how I feel regarding the situation, so I ignore it, block it out, like, pretend like it's not happening, but like I'm in a bubble.
Yeah.
And that bubble, like, I isolate myself within myself, and that pushes away people that I care about, and it also pushes away God, because instead of leaning on Him in those situations, I try to be a pillar. But, like, it's like being a pillar in the ocean. Like, it's just not, you're not doing anything. You're not helping anybody.
Yeah.
So, but when you lean on God, it gives you more perspective, and it doesn't make it seem so daunting.
Yeah, that's right.
like when I'm trying, like if I'm trying to hide something from someone, I'm gonna like block everything out, act like
I
I'm
love
perfectly
that that's
fine.
your first answer.
It's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm gonna block everything out. I'm gonna act like nothing's wrong, and it's not good. Like it puts you in a very tough spot, and you just don't know what to do anymore.
Describe that. Why is it a tough spot?
Because since if you're hiding all this stuff and you're like, you have to act like nothing's wrong, and so then you're like, it's draining you because you're like, well, I've got to put on this front and be like, okay, well, nothing's wrong, even though something's wrong, and you just don't tell anybody. So it's like it's hard, but I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Preston, what do you think? Spiritual dry seasons.
Like, to me, what it means is like just no change with your relationship with God's happening. Like nothing in your life, like you can't move forward from something. Like we had some family issues last year and 2 years ago, and I was just like isolated myself pretty much there.
Yeah. Lanny, you got any thoughts on that? Spiritually dry seasons?
Like she was saying, a negative change in your life, and you just don't feel any need to pray or read your Bible, and you're just too focused on something else that's going on, and you just think that you don't have any time to open the Bible and just read a verse out.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative change either. Like yes, like negative stuff is very difficult, and like I'm not trying to say that, but any kind of change, a lot of but humans are like, as a species, people don't like change majority of the time.
That's right.
So any kind of change can throw you off, and if you don't deal with it, then that's when that isolation and the spiritual dryness comes in, because instead of like taking the time to take it off your plate and give it to God, you're like, oh, I need to deal with this on my own.
Yeah.
Like I need to be strong enough to handle this.
Yep.
When in reality, you're not supposed to be.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the thing of like, for spiritual dryness, a lot of times you try to work your way out of it. It's like quicksand, right? Like you're trying to work your way out of quicksand, and the harder you work, the faster you're going to sink. And so it's the same thing, right? Instead of relying on God. So how do spiritual habits like prayer, reading the Bible, or worship help shape your relationship with God and help reignite those spiritual dry seasons?
So I know that prayer, and like sometimes it's hard to read your Bible, like because you don't have a direction. So for me, like I'm going to college, and like I know I keep bringing this up, but it's a week away, so I'm a little bit like stressed. And so for my graduation gift, my pastor got me a devotional for college students. So like right now I don't have like a study plan per se. Mm-hmm. So every night before I go to bed, or like when I get up in the morning, I will read this devotional and the passages that go along with it, and just meditate on that, and that helps me stay in my word, instead of like being like, oh, I need to read this a set amount of passages every day, and like go in this order, because sometimes I will get burnout on that, and I just read it, and I won't get anything out of it.
Yeah, you said something in an earlier podcast about disciplining yourself to go to church.
Yeah.
Right? I think it comes down to that, right? The discipline.
Right.
To even if I don't feel like it, even if it's just at least the discipline to pray, the discipline to read something, even if it's just a devotional, like that pays off.
Consistency, like,
yes,
because it'll get you through that patch, and then when you get to the other side of it, you start reading deeper and deeper, and it like strengthens your relationship.
That's right.
And then when you go through another patch, you're more prepared.
That's right.
So reading the Bible, and like even one singular verse can like help you realize what he's doing in your life. And say you're going through a certain problem, and you find a Bible verse, and it's like directly relatable to your problem.
Mm-hmm.
That can help you a lot.
That's right. It can help you
more than people think.
Yeah, that's good. That's good perspective. Anybody else want to share on this?
Can you say the question again? I know what it is. But
so it's just about like the daily habits, right, of prayer, of reading the Bible, of worship. how do those help build your relationship with God? And or maybe even it helps you pull you out of a dry season.
I mean, obviously, if you're gonna like be consistently praying and like reading your Bible and all that stuff, it's going to bring you closer to God. So, and that will help you get out of the spiritual dry season. Like, it's just like how it works. Like, you have to have that relationship.
Okay. Yeah, because so if you read the Bible, right, you said it teaches you more about God. How does knowing more about God pull you out of the dry season or help you through a dry season?
It's just like, it's like friends. They're uplifting. Like, if they're good friends, they're uplifting. So if you have a good like relationship with God, it's like a friend.
Okay.
He is your friend. So it's like, you're like, oh, he'll help you just like a normal friend is. Like,
Yeah.
act like he is a normal person. He's not like, just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not like a normal person. Like, you need to, well, he's not a like person, but you get what I mean. Like, act like he is someone standing right in front of you, uplifting you and helping you.
Okay, perfect. Good. All right. If someone asked you how to take the next step in their faith, what would you tell them based on your own journey?
Start reading the Bible and praying.
Okay.
I would say like consistent prayer and everything. Like good, bad. What am I going to eat for breakfast?
Yep.
Consistent prayer will bring you closer to God. Like, it's hard to have a friendship with somebody you talk to once a week.
Yeah, that's right.
So to build a relationship, that's like with any relationship. If without consistency and time and effort, you don't have a foundation.
Yeah. It's good.
I would say like pray more and know that God's always with you and there's someone always there to help you.
Okay. What you think, Landon?
I would just say, think about the things you do and don't just do it like without thinking.
Yeah. All right. Last question. What is the role of spiritual mentors in your life, and how can they help you stay connected and motivated in your spiritual walk?
You need that person that you can go to for like anything. It does not even just spiritual things, but anything, just so you have that relationship with them. Relationship is like good in any situation, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to go to them to be able to talk to them about the spiritual side of things and things that you're not really comfortable with sharing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps because they can give you advice and tell you what they've been through, especially like if they're older like than you in general. Like, they have more experience and wisdom and things that you don't, and you need someone to talk to you to help you.
That's right. That's good. What else?
I feel like you could connect to somebody and learn to trust them, and then you can actually be honest.
Yeah. And that's the key, right? Is having that person that you can go to and can be very honest with them, and you know that while they're not going to judge you, they do love you, and they're going to try to guide you through whatever scenario or situation you're in, right? It's good.
Like, especially with having a mentor, you have somebody who can call you out, like when you're not performing at your best. So like, say like you have a really good friend in the church or a pastor or a leader that you're close with, and they see you maybe going down a path that you shouldn't be on, and they can call you out and say, hey, like, I love you, and and like, this is all out of love, but you are not behaving the way that you should be.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay, and I'm here to pray for you, and I'm here to help you and figure this out, but sometimes you need a reality check. And if it doesn't come from somebody you know has your best interest at heart, you're not going to listen.
That's
right.
right.
I think that's why building relationships is very, like, with the people in your church is very important.
That's right. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of one of the things that they talk about is so important for someone who is moving from high school to college to still stay connected with the Lord, is that they had an adult that influenced them outside of their family unit, right? And so finding that spiritual mentor, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to meet with them every week for coffee or whatever, but it is someone that you trust, that if there is a situation you can go to and they can help guide you. That is very, very important. So that's on spiritual growth. We certainly hope that this was super helpful. You know, our goal in this is We call it In Step Podcast to keep you in step with the Spirit from Galatians 5. And so certainly hope that these are practical ways for teenagers and young adults to hear from other people, other teenagers and young adults, to know how they have navigated this journey with the Lord, and hopefully that it will help and you can glean something from each of their stories. So if you like this, we'd love for you to subscribe. We'd love for you to share it. And we'll see you next time on the In Step Podcast. God bless you.